Hi, today I want to talk about older camera technology, which I still feel is relevant in the year 2020 and beyond. In fact, if you know what you're doing, you got a bargain price for it, and you know their limits, they can still be part of your workflow. Let's talk about it. So recently I bought 3 different brands of cameras at a bargain price, like the Nikon D7000, the Panasonic GH4 with a zoom lens, and the Sony FS700 UK. So there are some of them I bought for a tenth of the price when it first came out. For example, the Nikon D7000 I got for $150. Yeah, that's really cheap. The reason I bought it is because my wife's friend have manual Nikon lenses, and they also have Sigma lens for Nikon, and they didn't know what to do with it, and they gave me for free. And I thought, wow, that's amazing lens. Some of them, like the 50 mils f1.4, the 135 f3.5. I thought that's a pretty good lens, although they're manual, but I would love to, get a Nikon body for it. So I ended up getting a Nikon D7000. Now this is a 16 megapixel. But boy, this camera, even though it's 10 years old, is well built. It's made of a magnesium body, and I love the screen here. Just the regular LCD screen that indicate the number of photo that can be stored on the SD card and ISO and all that. It just feels like a professional camera, and in fact, it is a semi-professional camera. Even to today, I feel like it's still a good camera. The battery is amazing. This Nikon battery, for example, can take 1,000 pictures. I remember I had the A7R2, and that can only do maybe 400 pictures. And I have the Sony A5000, A5100, and the A6000. It can only do up to 450 photos. This thing can do twice as much, and it's 10 years old technology. Boy, with a manual lens, it is just amazing to take photo with. In fact, I enjoy doing manual photography again with the manual focus and manual aperture. I feel like I have full control of my photos. I love manual photography, being able to have full control of it, and the Nikon D7000 is a best fit for that. Even though I have my Sony A7R3, this is great for amazing autofocus, high megapixel, but when it comes to manual focus and manual control, that is where I'm going to grab my Nikon D7000. You cannot beat it. If you're just doing it for fun, doing it for hobby, even like professionally, it's just, I don't know, I just feel that I'm back to my favorite photography again with having full control of it. Now, if I'm doing professional work, obviously I may pick up my Sony A7R3, but this is more than adequate for just enjoyment. Back to the passion again, right? Now, for videography, then I would grab my Panasonic GH4. Yes, the reason, it is an amazing video camera. It has a flippy screen. It has a mic in jack, so I can put my wireless mic. It can do 1080p 10-bit 422, 4K as well. Okay, if you have the external monitor like an Alamo Shogun, you can do 10-bit 422. And the lens that comes with this thing, the 12-60, is great for daytime shots. So most of my YouTube videos, or if I'm gonna do short films, it's gonna be mainly during daytime. Well, this camera is amazing for guns and run situation, for vlogging, short film documentary. This camera can do it, and I got it for about $450, including the zoom lens. That is a bargain price, and it is still relevant today. It's only 4 years old. Even though it's a little bit older technology, you can do 95% of what a GH5 can do, and even a lot of these newer camera. You just have to know its limit. For example, don't do it during a night shot or in a low light situation. You need to bring a lot of light. And of course, it doesn't have a in-body stabilization. So make sure you put it on a gimbal or that you put it on a tripod. That's about it. You need to know its limit. That's what you have to understand about the technology. Understand what the limits are and then go with it. You save yourself a lot of money and also you learn a lot as well. Now the last one I want to show you is my Sony FS700 UK. Now this one is not a 4K upgrade, this is just a 1080p, but for some reason this camera can compete with my Sony A7R III when you talk about 1080p video quality. Yes, the 1080p that comes out of this FS700 UK, wow, I mean the color rendition, I mean I like the warm color. The Sony has more realistic color, but this one, even though it's a little bit warmer, I like it, especially for studio camera. In fact, for documentary, anything that require interview and all that stuff, this is the camera to have. It has a XLR2 mic input, so you can record professionally, audio system. It can record with unlimited video. It depends on your SD card and the built-in, I have this 128 gig flash memory that's in here. So, and even have a flip-up screen as well, flippy screen like that, okay? And it can only do 1080p, it cost me, $760, but when it first came out it was $10,000. It uses a E-mount lens, so all my Sony lens worked with this camera. And it's built like a rock, right? Amazing studio camera. I would still think that this camera will continue on to give me a bang for a buck for the next 5 to 10 years. Amazing. So even though, and I know its limits, right? I know that, I cannot use it for gun and run situation because it's pretty big and heavy. Now with certain situations, if I have the Ronin gimbal, maybe I could do that. In fact, I'm in the future I may show you. I have the Ronin S. I was able to put it on the Ronin S and it worked pretty good. The thing about this camera, it can also do 1080p 240 frames per second. Wow, right? Wow. So 8 years old technology, still relevant today. So as long as you know its limit, you know its feature, and you know when to use it, where to use it, it is definitely still relevant. These three cameras is still relevant to YouTube, high quality videos, documentary and short films. If you know its limits, you know the situation you're going to use it for, I think these three cameras I got it for a bargain price is still relevant even 10 years from now. Just depending on what are you using for, how you're going to use it, and your audience and who you're going to deliver it to. I think they are still a bargain. You should try to focus more on your script, your composition, your actors, more important stuff that is relevant to your films rather than the technology. I mean, technology is great. You can always rent better technology 1 or 2 days, but these cameras, you can use it for weeks, months, years, is yours to keep, and you spend less than a fraction of what you should be paying. All right, so that's my take on older technology. Definitely relevant to whatever you're doing. Thanks for watching EducateTube.com.